we're live, are we? Let's see. Give me 1 second. So welcome everyone. I needed to check. So this is live. Welcome everyone that wants to draw comics. This is the Sunday Draw Comics with me. I'm trying to make this a consistency habit while drawing my comic, just showing up 30 minutes every Sunday to draw my comic as a challenge, and I hope anyone that feels compelled to joins me as well. I'm just gonna do it for a little bit and then continue drawing the rest of Sunday. But you know, the most difficult thing to do regarding any project is to start. So this will help me with that resistance, and hopefully it does too. I was inspired watching lots of study videos. I really like some study YouTube channels, and they actually, that's what they do. They're like, okay, every week I'm gonna stream me studying, and you can study alongside me. Now, at some point, I may start to do this with less talking. Something like the Shut Up and Write initiative that exists already, where you just are in silence for 50 minutes and then you work, and then you are able to share that with the world. Yeah, I was having also a very bad burnout in 2025. I really didn't know what was going on or how to fix it. But one of the things that helps is having people around you that do comics as well. Have you heard that phrase of the people you surround yourself with is who you are? So I was invited a little bit to the Jason Brubaker live stream with his friends, and it was very inspirational to talk about comics all the time, to hear about people doing amazing projects all the time. And I realized if I create that type of social positive pressure, possibly with live streams like this, then that would be amazing. I'm supposed to build this as a habit, so that's why it's only half an hour at the beginning. I'm gonna see if I add the time at some point. But you know, to make a habit, it takes between 18 to 66 days or something like that. Depends on the complexity of the habit. So I'll start small. I'm really such a fan of the book Atomic Habits, so this will help for sure. So here in the screen, I'm doing my comic. Winter Secrets is the one I started with in 2017, I think. And I never finished it. And my goal is to finish all the comics I started. Thank goodness, publicly only 2. And I'll start with a short one and then go with the longest one. Also because this one, I was following the advice of start with a comic that is not as long or as hard as your magnus opus or something to learn. And yeah, I'm gonna learn. I plan to print this. I know it's gonna be stupid expensive because I decided to do it in color and with European format, so page is bigger, it has many panels. I'm doing something a little silly, I know, but you know what? I'm like, this is a short comic. It should be fine. I'm gonna learn a lot and then take those lessons for the Maze War comic about my warrior girl. And that one is gonna be maybe a little longer, way longer. So this is like a test run even. So at some point I should do like Pomodoro and just be in silence. But I wanted to introduce the core idea. Of course, feel free in case anyone is watching. And in case this takes a while or nobody watches in a long time, I'm also inspired a little bit by some other creator. I don't even want to say the name. Maybe one day. But I remember he did lots and lots of streams and videos and nobody was watching. And mainly he was just building a very important foundation. And I'm motivated to do the same. Also, it's a little comfortable. If you have a YouTube channel, maybe you know, but sometimes it's comfortable that nobody really is there to see your mistakes. Or that you have a small community, because then they understand you, you're supported. Here I'm doing this easy stuff for my brain while I talk, which is just adding details. My goal is always that the page looks very good without color, and then the color is like the bam, final element. Oh, I'm so silly, I'm not wearing my glasses. I was like, why can't I see as well? So, I'm gonna start the silence in a bit. Grab your coffee, this is the tea. Grab your tea, something comfortable, cozy. I have a blanket right now. And just draw or work in whatever you're working on, and feel free to share if you feel so inclined. I don't know if I cleaned this correctly or if it's just my wet hair. Hey, hello, Curious Comics. Glad to see you. I have another laptop open because. Oh, you say crowdfund? Supposedly you have to have a very big audience to do that, right? I don't feel like I have it. I don't know if this is gonna work. I do want to do it one day, but I want to also check with myself how fast I am with the current schedule. I no longer have 2 hours in the morning like I used to have. So I want to see if I can make one comic page, this level of complexity, so many panels. I know I'm doing something crazy. I know. Manga lovers, I also love manga. I understand. I'm sorry. I just wanted to do this. But in any case, this is a very big page, and I want to see if I'm able to do it every 2 weeks. And if I can guarantee that, alongside, prioritizing a job that pays the bills, then I can start making promises to people. But right now, I'm not confident doing that. But how are you, Curious Comics? How are your projects going? I'll say it in a bit once I fix this horrible shit. I wonder if I should just call you by your name instead of pseudonyms or pen names in English. In any case, that's your brand. This is easier than I thought. I thought I was gonna be way more nervous. And this way I don't have to edit videos, which is great. I'm thinking one day I'll hire someone to edit this. One day I'll return to social media properly and be super consistent because I'll hire someone to help me. That will be fun. Okay? Hello, Nat! How are you? I miss you so much. So good to see you here. I hope you're drawing. Let me know if you're drawing something interesting. Okay, Curious Comics, you took some time off. You're working overtime at your job. I see. Yeah. Sometimes it's also healthy, right? I mean, it sucks, but then you're more motivated or energized to return to your projects. I honestly thought nobody was gonna show up. So thank you for being here. However long you want to stay. Right now I'm doing this with OBS only. I know I can do fancier stuff with possibly StreamYard, which I have also used for my Spanish job. But I was like, we're gonna start simple, short time, not a fancy microphone, everything as simple as possible so I don't have friction when doing this habit. Because I really want to make this a habit. There will be some Sundays where I won't be able to attend, possibly family things, but most Sundays I should be good. I'm gonna protect this time. Okay, I'm gonna finish that braid and then see comments. I wonder, I was thinking of the shut up and do comics, right? But there's been a live stream as well. I wonder how much should I talk? And in any case, I'm thinking of when I can do the fancier things, invite people to draw with me. So you would be able to share your screen as well, talk about your projects. Also chat about comics, or just art, and make it entertaining for other people. Something that happens to me is sometimes I don't want to work in this project because it feels so long. So I really like working in chunks. I really like just every other day. That's my schedule currently. I work a little bit on this and it feels more manageable. Because if not, I get overwhelmed. But once I start, I realize how much I have left and I really want to continue until I'm done. I wonder, how is your style of working? And I cannot really talk about discipline that much, given that I take easy half-year hiatus every time, but I really want to make this sustainable finally. Gonna make it as easy as possible. Okay, finished. Let's see. That's cool that you have developed your story, Curious Comics. That's fun. Is it the one that you sent me with the about Japan, or is it another one that I haven't seen? Thank you so much for liking, Elena. Yeah, I've been working in the story writing part a lot. Also, you can see my organization. I was planning to make a video about this. There are many things that I was wanting to make videos about, but it's way easier to do it in a live stream, I guess. Even though I do like watching comic live streams while I'm drawing, but not if I'm not. But you can see that I'm more or less organized in the comic page. I like to merge, even if I make lots of layers, I merge almost everything every time I can. Like I make many from the ink stage. I'm still a little slow. You know how those who draw know that when you're talking and drawing, it's like your brain is slower at both things. But yeah, I love comics. I'm never gonna stop. Even if it takes me a long time. So this is supposed to be a short comic, but again, between the level of perfectionism, I really like to add it. And I have accepted it. It's not something I struggle with. It doesn't have to be perfect even. It's just I like to cover a certain number of steps. And once I cover them, I'm like, okay, I did my best. And then I can move on to the next drawing. And even if some lines are not perfect, whatever, you know. Like I feel like I'm making more mistakes because I'm being recorded. But it's like when you're drawing in front of someone, people can see you, you become a little more self-conscious. Do you like drawing in public? Or every time you draw, do you do it in your room? I really want my Discord group to answer more because I would love to invite them as well one day. I feel like there's lots of fun comic and art topics to talk about, and it's easier if if they're engaged. But also, I disappear for months and then I expect engagement. Of course not. But it's fine. I'm gonna rebuild everything slowly. I think my goal at the end of the day is to have the comics finished. So even if I don't post a lot on Instagram, I'm really not gonna do it. Not at this moment of life. And much less do I have time to make TikToks or something like that. As my reference. Oh. I had opened this just for the thumbnail. Okay. Whatever. I remember Nat has been telling me for a long time for me that I should stream, and I didn't listen to her until now. She was right. She's an amazing animator and artist. One day, she wants gonna share it here. And here I'm drawing chickens, and I really like this one. So I have my sketchbook where I practice the chickens, and I'm gonna follow that instead. Okay. It's almost. This is harder than it looks. I need to practice chickens again. I'm practicing cats right now because I really want to draw a cat in this comic. And I want it to be fucking adorable. But I need to practice the chickens again, it seems. To be fair, there are others that have looked a little better. You know, I really don't want a Cintiq tablet or a screen tablet because I think the advantage of not seeing your screen here is that your posture is better, especially for people that need glasses like me. But I wonder if I would be faster. Okay. I love having the sketch and taking all my time in the sketch and then ignoring it because I didn't like it. Fuck. I guess if I see the F word or fuck, then I can justify that YouTube little checkbox they always show you that are like, are you making this stream for kids? I'm not. They're busy doing AI. I'm not learning. Kidding. To be fair, they have so many amazing tutorials. There's many young people doing amazing work. There's others that are going to be screwed. Okay, it looks a little better than the sketch, I think. I'm honestly gonna do the easy, not as boring stuff in the stream. Gonna do the rest later today. I plan to publish this in Tapastic. Mainly I want to publish it in the traditional style format. But I'm doing every step that I also did with the other comic, so I can transform it to the vertical style if I want to. For example, that panel in the middle, I can remove it. You see? Here it is, here it is not. I can just separate whenever I want to. And that's also extra time because I'm doing it for 2 formats, I guess. because I love to complicate. I guess it's not really complicated. It would be worse to do it afterwards. So something that gives me lots of joy is to imagine, like, okay, let's say 2026, I get as many pages as I can done. Let's say, I don't know if I'll finish the comic, but because I don't know how many pages in comic form they will be, and I'm going slowly. But also, I'm making a system now where I take breaks every 3 months. The break is gonna be like, let's say, for now, I think my schedule for this comic pages, it's gonna be something along the lines of February until April 26. And then after that, I take 2 weeks where in my free time, instead of drawing, I'm doing whatever. Playing video games if I want to, rotting in bed, watching shows, and just being overall completely lazy. And then another 3 months of comic production, then another 2 weeks of rest, and then again. And obviously taking into account that December is usually packed with family stuff. So, not forcing myself. I really don't want to burn out again. I want to keep going. I take these huge pauses and I disappear from everyone's radar, and I feel like if I give myself vacations or a pause from creative projects every once in a while, I won't have those feelings of, oh, I never get to relax, or I'm always working, or feeling like comics is a job. I'm really enjoying treating it like a comic, like a hobby, sorry. It's fun. And to return to the joy of drawing without burning out ever again. If I can help it. I've had so many hiatus, so many times that I pause comics. Yeah, now I sound like I have it all figured out, but I mean, having that conclusion was hard. Okay. So I'm gonna leave the stream here, I think. At some point I will stream for a longer time, for sure, but maybe leave a next part of the process like coloring or something. So it is easier mentally, just, I need to focus. But thank you so much to everyone that showed up. And I hope to do this every Sunday. Take that into account. Hopefully earlier or at this hour, but I will schedule the live stream for sure. Thank you and goodbye.